I was taken to the church for baptism, but the moment I got closer to the water for baptism, I began to see terrifying things my mind couldn't comprehend. The Reverend Father had 7 heads, while his assistant had a burning eyes and only 1 finger on each hand. The church turned into a witch house with lots of human skulls. The water changed into a boiling pot of blood. I screamed and ran out of the church, leaving my mother and younger sister. It felt like I ran mad. I couldn't understand what was happening to me at that moment till I fell flat on my way home. It took me days before I woke up and found myself home. Opening my eyes felt like I was reborn. My mother was beside me praying and casting out demons from my body. When I lazily sat on the bed, she jumped for joy and called in my younger sister, who was about 16 years old. They began to praise and thank God for bringing me back to life. "How long have I been on bed?" I sharply asked. 5 days, Mia replied. "What? That's not possible," I replied. "My daughter, you have been sleeping for 5 days now and I really don't even know what happened to you. Once you got close to the water you began to scream and you ran out of the church like a mad woman," my mother concluded. Then it dawned on me that what I saw really happened and it was real. If I have been sleeping for 5 days, then I really demons who has possibly taken over the church. My name is Gabby, the first daughter of my mother. We used to live in the village before we moved down to the city. My mother had refused to tell me the reason why we moved to the city all of a sudden. Leaving all our belongings and property my father had left for us, even the big farmland that he left for me that produces cotton. While I was growing up, my mother had never been so close to me. She said I'm a special child and nobody should tell me otherwise, but when we moved to the city she became a different person to me. We lacked a mother and daughter relationship till she gave birth to my younger sister Mia, so sad father could see her face or carry her before he died. I wasn't a church person. I hate the way people of his word turned Christianity into a religion. Being a Christian has to do with simple and little things, just the way God said in his word: be kind, love your neighbor as you love yourself, forgive and love one another. But the church teach otherwise. It made me sick and I never attended any church service till I became 26 years old. My mother would force me to attend a church with her, but I would bluntly refuse. She spoke highly of the Reverend Father and how he performed miracles and healed the sick, but I wasn't moved by all the tales. I began to explain what happened to me in the church and what I saw. Mia was short of words, but my mother only gave me a cold face and refused to talk. Her attitude began to make me feel like I was insane. "Wrong, say something because it feels like I'm crazy," I yelled. "Yes, that's the truth, you're crazy, and you're looking for every excuse not to be baptized and be a Christian," Mother replied before leaving the room. "What?" I exclaimed. "Sis, I know you're not crazy. Don't worry, just rest, everything will be fine," Mia added before leaving my room. I was left alone in my room, deep in thoughts. Why me? Why all this? I kept asking myself so many questions I never had answers to. I laid on my bed while the tears from my eyes soaked my pillow. I needed someone to talk to, so I quickly took my phone and dialed Monica's number. Monica has been my friend since we moved to the city. I dialed her number severally, but no answer. I got up from the bed, showered. I smelled like crap knowing I have been in bed for days. I dressed nicely and headed out. I spent my evening in one of the nicest and coolest bush bar in town. I sat and ate for a while before I began to feel weird, like the food was poisoned. I began to feel dizzy and my eyes began to burn. I quickly poured my bottled water on my eyes, but it became worse. I tried screaming, but it felt like my voice ceased. I could not make a sound. I held my eyes tightly trying to rub it, but it wasn't helping. I tried to open my eyes for clarification if I could see. I took a peek. I began to see different kind of demonic things. The food I was eating was made out of an old woman's breast and a few number of giant eyes. Initially I ordered for native soup, which was the best seller in the bush bar. I like it because it comes with lots of seafoods and a chilled palm wine. But what I'm seeing now is total different thing. I wanted to scream, but my voice ceased. I looked around me. I could see different kind of spirits moving in and out of people as they enjoyed their meal. Only one man had a clear spirit, nothing could penetrate him while he eats. I tried to give signal to people to stop eating, but they all looked at me like I was crazy. After 20 minutes, I got myself voice back, but this time I didn't scream or run out. I just sat down to watch how the devil played with the destiny of others through food. The devil uses the most valuable and important thing to attack the innocent. I spat the remaining food out of my mouth and refused to swallow any further. Madame Keke, the owner of the bush bar, came towards with a bright smile. Instantly I could see half out her body as a rotten corpse and the other half looking like the body of a teenager. I was frightened. I got so scared that goosebumps began to appear on my body. I looked at her closely and I noticed she was wearing 7 rings, which could only mean she is in contact with the 7 deadly demons to hover around people in her bar, stealing and taking people's destiny, star and luck. "My beautiful customer, hope you're enjoying your meal," she asked. I still did not want to speak. I just have a faint smile and nodded. "Chai, you're so beautiful. I would have recommended you to my son who is in the UK, just that he's not ready to come back to Nigeria," she uttered. I smiled once again before she left to attend to another customer. How can people be this cruel? I asked myself within. I left their money on the table and left the bar. I began to run down to the house to avoid what happened the last time. I tried to see things normally while I was walking back home, but I couldn't. I kept seeing strange and unknown spirits walking around people, even the ones that had a deity guarding them. I tried to close my eyes so it could, but no way, it wouldn't stop. Once I got to my house, it suddenly stopped and I could see things normally. I saw my mother jumping happily and thanking someone over the phone. I waited till I talked to her. He ended the call and turned me smiling sheepishly. "Mom, why are you this happy?" I asked. "You remember that company I was working for before this current one? They asked me to start work tomorrow morning and they will be paying me ×2 of the last 1 inch," she said. "What? That's great news," I replied. "Yes, my child, let me be getting my things ready for tomorrow," my mother said while standing up. Suddenly I heard a calm voice whispered my name. I turned to look, but no one was there. My younger sister wasn't even in the living room. Then the voice called out again. "Gabby, stop your mother from going to that company. She is a bait," the voice said. I jumped up in fear. "Mom, did you just say something?" I asked. "No, I didn't. Are you okay?" she asked. "Tell her to stay home if she wants to still be alive," the voice whispered again. "Oh, Mommy, did you hear something just now?" "Something spoke just now," I said, looking frightened. "Gabby, your attitude is becoming disgusting. Stop it." "It's just the both of us here. Who else is talking?" she rebuked. "Mom, please don't go to that company tomorrow. They will take your life. You are a bait to their evil scheme. Please, Mother, don't go out tomorrow," I pleaded. "Gabby, I can see you have gone mad. Something is definitely wrong with you. How can you tell me not to grab this good opportunity because of your crazy talk? Better watch it or else you won't like my other side," my mother replied with frown. I kept pleading for her to stay home tomorrow and not to embark on the journey of returning to the company, but it all fell on deaf ears. I went to my room. I couldn't sleep. My heart was pounding so heavily. I kept thinking about the weird voice talking inside my head. Could it be that I'm crazy? Or am I daydreaming? I asked myself. I kept tossing side to side, till I fell asleep. I woke up very early in the morning. I rushed to my mother's room, but she was already gone. She didn't even make breakfast for Mia before leaving. I rushed to prepare Mia for school, and then dropped her off. I was scared if something had happened to my mother because she refused picking her calls, even texts. After much thoughts running through my head, I heard the doorbell ring. I quickly hopped out of the sofa and headed straight to the door. I didn't mind peeking through the peeping hole. I just opened the door. I was starstruck when I saw how my mother was looking so dirty and tattered. I almost mistook her for a mad person. Some had bruises and her clothes were torn, exposing her bra and underwear. She limped into the living room gradually while I still stood at the door watching her. Words couldn't leave my mouth. I was still in shock, wondering what's happening. "Mom, what happened?" I asked while I slammed the door close. She kept mute for some minutes before she calmly looked at me and then spoke. "Gabby. Gabby. Gabby," she called out my name. "Yes, Mom, what's wrong?" I asked again. "You will not believe what happened to me. Before I went to that company, the taxi I entered wasted my time and ended up going there late. To my greatest surprise, the call was a scam. I was a bait to be replaced for someone who stole the company's money some months ago," my mother revealed while touching her bruises. "What?" I asked. "Yes, oh, they beat me almost to death. I never knew what was happening till they told me it's a trap and wanted to replace me with the person who stole the company's money. I cried for mercy, begged them to leave me alone, but they refused. If not for the help of the gateman who I was nice to back then I was working with them, I would have been a dead person," my mother added while she screamed in pain. "You see, I told you not to go there but you refused, and now look at you. Look at how you look," I said sadly. "I should have listened to you, but how did you know I would be a bait?" she asked. My mood changed and I refused to say anything. "Gabby, you can talk to me," she said calmly. "My mother hasn't spoken to me like this in very long time. I believe the beating she got from those people had humbled her. Well, since I left that church I began to see things I shouldn't see. Now I'm hearing a voice of someone I can't see giving directions and forecasting things that are about to happen," I said. Her expression didn't change. It felt like she knew something like this happens to me. "It feels like I'm crazy. Everything that seems normal to me isn't normal anymore. From the place I normally eat with my best friend down to the church and my home," I added. "Gabby, I don't know what you have been seeing and hearing, but I wish I had listened to you yesterday. I won't be in this mess today," she replied with a heavy sigh. I knew she knows something about what I'm facing, but I will find out one way or another. I quickly attended to her bruises before Mia walked into living room looking stressed from school runs. "Oh, Mommy, what happened to you?" she asked sharply. "My child, just thank God for my life," Mother replied. My eyes started burning. I knew my body had sensed a strange spirit. I turned to look at Mia, my younger sister, but shockingly Mia wasn't looking like herself anymore. While waiting for the next episode, drop your opinion in the comments